I went to a blood test or checkup, and they took blood, and they found out I had kidney failure. I didn't believe it at first because I had no symptoms, decided to get a second opinion, and that's when I was referred to Freda. Dr. Dodd, Dr. Johnson, La Rosa helped me, and I went to the transplant classes with Jenny and Candice, and I was educated about my disease. Most of the African Americans are afraid to be a living donor, but we have to educate ourselves and realize that we can live with one kidney, and I'm appealing to you to come forward, donate life.
What's it like being sisters?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Who's the older? And
I'm the oldest. She's the baby girl. But Diane is the, she the one to keep us going. Anything that I can't. Oh, and she's a cooker too, and I don't cook.
I don't know what I would be without her. She's the enforcer. She's the person that keep me going, and she's encouraging, and I do all my volunteering because she was looking after Mom when I was out in the doing my volunteering and everything, that I can depend on her. I could always depend on her.
I have dance experience, but that's from my younger years. Nothing professional, but just having fun. I'm comfortable with what I've learned. I didn't expect to have as much fun as I'm having. You know, I thought it was just going to be rigorous and memorize this dance step, choreography, and the choreographing. But it's been a lot of fun. And again, I enjoy working with my partner and the Fred Astaire staff. I think it's important for more people to realize that for the need for the high demand and the need for donations, because again, most people think of the adults, they forget about children, they think about, it's not the first thing that one would have on their mind. You know, you think of cancer and all these other things, but there's a lot of folks that really need your organs, specifically in the African American community. And we could be leaders in that area.
well, the organization over the years, since it was formed in 1968, has really evolved and responds to currently what the needs of patients are here in Wisconsin. And I think that's what's so great. I think what people don't know about the National Kidney Foundation is that we have a variety of things that we do. So one of those is to increase the availability of all organs. So people, I think our name sometimes fools people in terms of the role that we play in promoting awareness of organ donation, but promoting awareness of living donation, supporting people like Diane that are on the transplant waiting list for any type of organ, creating awareness, but supporting also families.
Well, I was excited to be invited because the Division of Motor Vehicles, you know, our goal is to save lives. And we do that in a lot of different ways, testing the 16-year-old kid to make sure they can drive safely, dealing with people that have medical issues and driving safely, and of course the organ donor community. And so one of the things we do in every transaction we do with driver's licenses is ask people if they're willing to be donors. And we take that responsibility very seriously. We ask every customer the question if they don't check the box. And we've worked closely with the community over the years in trying to be more effective in getting those boxes checked and getting those orange stickers on the license.
Now, I understand recently organ donation has become maybe even a little bit more personal to you beyond the professional realm?
Yeah, after I agreed to do this just a week ago, one of my best friend's father had a pancreas transplant. He's still in the hospital actually, but he's doing great. And so it just struck me, you know, I'm doing this benefit for something that just struck home, and it really shows you that you know, this organ donation, it touches everybody.
As a tribute to my sister Becky. My sister Becky became a donor angel on December 12th, 2006. She donated a kidney and a liver. There's two gentlemen in their, I guess would be late 40s now, in Illinois that are still doing well because of her gift. And I kind of promised her and at her bedside before we had to disconnect that I would talk about organ donation the rest of my life. And so I had started volunteering, but I thought, you know, I can take this one step farther. And so when you asked me to dance last year, I thought, this is so far out of my comfort zone. And like I said, she's probably getting a good laugh at seeing me do this, but I definitely wanted to do something on a bigger scale, you know, as big a scale as possible to honor her gift and her memory. And
when my father had his first heart attack and his first battle with heart disease, he was only 35 when he had his first heart attack, and it's been an uphill battle ever since. He's now 57, and he just went on to an LVAD in September. What I found out in September was that it was the Kidney Foundation that was helping out with this, and it's just huge. It all fell into place that I work for Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire is helping with the organization for the Kidney Foundation and this large benefit that we're doing here tonight. And it just, I felt like I was at the right spot at the right time. And I had a flashback of getting my driver's license. And it was a year after my father's first heart attack. And I looked at my mom when they asked me, do you want to be an organ donor? And I kind of looked at her like, do I? And she looked at me and she said, yes, because it's the right thing to do. Never questioned it, never said, oh no, I don't think I want to. But because of that moment, I said yes. There was no question.
In March of 2001, we got the phone call from the GI specialist at the UW, and he says, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is we know what your daughter has. It's alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. The bad news is there's no cure. At some point in her life, she's going to need a liver transplant. If she doesn't get a liver transplant, she'll die. So right then, at the age of a year and a half, we knew we were on a journey. In the beginning, it was a status 2, which means it was a nationwide search. She was stable. We thought we had time. But things started snowballing. She ended up with pneumonia, ear infections, and they went and did tube down her throat. They put a hole in her esophagus, and things just really went bad. And on October 31st of 2001, during grand rounds, I overheard one of the doctors say that she had about 20 hours to live. You know, we sat and we prayed, and fortunately our prayers were answered, and the procurement team from UW Hospital traveled to Rockford, Illinois, and they talked to the donor family, and Steve was approached, and they said, Steve, there's a little girl with red hair who is going to die if she doesn't get your wife's organ, her liver. And Steve said, absolutely, that's exactly what my mom or my wife would want to do. They basically took a complete adult liver and put it in a 3-year-old, and it shrunk down to the size of a 3-year-old, and now it grows with her as she continues to grow. So right now, you see what we have, a beautiful young girl who is an organ donation spokesperson, and as a parent, you never want anyone to go through what our family went through in waiting. And so the whole system of Yes I Will Wisconsin is so important.
I feel like everyone should donate their organs because it's just like recycling. It's like recycling because when you have a can of pop and you're done, you throw it in the trash can. So then someone else can use it for the next time. So your organs are like that too. So in case if someone is going to die, then you give them the gift of life, like one of your organs, to the other person, so then they can use it and you can look down on them and be proud that they're still alive today.